Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Microsoft, Director of Global IoT Channel Sales, Jason Langlais.
Good morning. Echoing that, thank you. This is the first of its kind. It's a phenomenal opportunity for us all, and it's a pleasure for us to be here with you. So I thought that a quick show of hands. How many in the audience have children under the age of 8 years old in here? Pretty decent amount, okay. Ben referenced this earlier. We all live IoT use cases. We see them every day. So I'm going to share a recent experience that I had. I have a 6-year-old, 4-year-old, and 2-year-old that's very applicable. So we have family in town over the Labor Day weekend and decided to take an overnight trip. I live in Seattle, going north, so about halfway between Seattle and Vancouver, BC. My oldest, 6, started first grade yesterday, so he needed new shoes. So we thought, okay, let's stop at the outlet mall. We'll pick up new shoes and be on our way so we get to destination by lunchtime. So we pulled in, showed up about 10 a.m. when their opening time. They have upon entry, it's an outdoor mall, have a very large floor to head type digital intelligent signage. And really cool, you could do selfies, like 2D interactive. My son's kind of spinning it in a circle, which didn't help us with our first location find, but so we decided to take a left and go down to find the first shoe store. There's a play area in the shoe store. The kids just gravitate toward that. 4 machines, you throw money in, they just basically move up and down, as you guys may have experienced as a child at one point. So that technology hasn't changed too much. But the problem was, you throw in the quarters and the machines didn't work. So 4 machines, 3 kids, a bit of chaos and lack of understanding. There may have been some bribery with chocolate milk and lollipops to help move it along, and so we did move along. We joined the information stage just to say, hey, look, these things aren't working, heads up, and their reaction was, well, that's a service company. We have no idea if they're working or not. So it was really interesting, and we continued on through the shoe buying process, and we ended up going to 5 different stores, I kid you not, because 3 of the stores didn't have the proper size for my son. One of the stores, just the shoe type wasn't right, and then of course the last one, 2 hours later through this, success. A little bit of sweat, but everybody's ultimately happy, and we passed that same digital kiosk. But my thought process was, what if when you walked in, it could read you, or at least understand you have a family and tell you that, hey, this playground is down, or this one is active, so you have a positive experience as a parent, as a consumer, as a happy child. What if there were sensors on that basic equipment that said, hey, it was down, so there's an SLA entered and it could spin up quickly, so therefore the site operator didn't have to have all these complaints even though they don't manage it. So a lot of these things started to trigger, and what if you walked in and said, hey, I'm looking for a shoe to this digital kiosk, and it said, hey, these 3 stores have a size 2 in youth, and these don't. So that leads me into transformation and opportunity. So I think it's very fitting for that example, and it's very fitting for us in this audience. And the question is, where are you at? Where are we at? There's a bit of a pain trade. The pain of staying the same. If you're on the left-hand side, there's high risk in not existing over a period of time. So the stat that you're seeing here, which is fact, is 52% of the Fortune 500 just don't exist because they did not transform over the years. Whether you're starting off and don't know how to begin, or maybe just dipping your toes in IoT and feeling a bit overwhelmed, or maybe you're mature, which lends to the right side here, there is a massive, massive opportunity. You're hearing that throughout the presentations this morning. But the digitized production is the fourth industrial revolution. I mean, just quick history. Late 1700s, we started off with mechanized production, then mass production and automated, and now we're in the midst of digitized production. So massive opportunity. And just to echo what Mike was saying earlier, the opportunity is now and here. You could not have a better partner in Ingram Micro to help you succeed. The ecosystem, you're learning about them, yourselves in the room, everybody offers a differentiated value and service. So if there's a question, outcome, pain point, use case that you're hearing from your customer, please raise your hand and let's have that conversation. So from a Microsoft perspective, what are we doing to transform within IoT? So we had made a public statement roughly 18 months ago, the fact that we're going to invest $5 billion across the next 4 years in IoT. What does that mean? It really anchors around security, number one, simplicity and scalability. And then if you kind of pivot to the buckets of where that falls, it's really within IoT product technology, the portfolio technology, customer momentum, and ecosystem enablement, which is my favorite and that kind of applies to a lot of us in this room. On the IoT portfolio technology, it's edge to cloud. We've introduced a little over 100 updates to products and services within that time period. And just to give you some examples, that includes IoT Central, which is our SaaS product offering. That includes digital twins, if you think of spatial intelligence with buildings in spaces. That includes HoloLens 2, which you've heard about, Windows IoT, if you need to lock down, it's an embedded license if you need to lock down certain scenarios within your devices. We've invested AI at the edge, and we've also invested in Sphere, Azure Sphere, which I'll touch on here in a second. So truly edge to cloud, and for us it's all about enablement, being an enablement platform for you. With Azure Sphere, wanted to touch on this because it's a fairly new product and a lot of people might not be familiar with it. But security starts, it's really born in the design, so it's not a bolt-on after the fact. So Azure Sphere is a microcontroller. The opportunity here is massive. I mean, you can see the numbers. So 9 billion devices, and that's growing at a 30% growth rate year over year of MCUs being deployed. So when you think of your home, good chance you have 3, 4, maybe double digits products, whether it's your stove or toys or cameras or other that have these in there. Roughly 1% are connected. Security's an issue. We're hoping to solve for that so that there's no one hacking into your environment at home. It feels very invasive. So just to pivot from the technology side over to the customer momentum side, I'll give you 3 examples of how we're investing there. One is with Starbucks, with Azure Sphere. They're adopting Sphere into their connected devices, and really the primary purpose is to have more FaceTime with their staff and you, and me, customers of Starbucks. Really the driver is predictive maintenance for the devices as well as beverage consistency. So these will slowly start to be adopted in stores throughout the US. The other is with Walmart. So they're adopting a PaaS Azure IoT workload, and the driver for that is to help solve for product prevention loss as well as driving energy efficiency. And then the third example here around customer momentum is the Toyota Material Handling Group. So they're actually implementing AI, MR, and IoT across their environment for intelligent automation and logistical simulation. So that's a big piece. of the three functional areas. And the last one, which I think is really most applicable to us and gets me the most excited, because that's my role, is really this group, the ecosystem enablement. So we're investing in, with, and through Ingram Micro to help accelerate repeatable solutions into market faster. That in turn bleeds into you, the ecosystem partners. So whether you're on the front end, the solution provider, whether you're on the back end, owning the customer relationship, providing services and differentiation, we have a tool set of people, of investment dollars, of marketing, technical, in support. Think of us as a curtain behind Ingram Micro to be utilized as needed. And you're seeing some of the stats here. I mean, within call it a 2-year time frame, we've seen massive growth. So we're seeing success. I mean, your success, it sounds like a cliche, but your success is truly our success. So we're investing in you, in the growth that we're, through the solution aggregated partnership with Ingram, is growing through some of the events and matchmaking opportunities that we have with Ingram Micro, and then some that we drive on our own. We're seeing the ecosystem come together, and that's helping to enable certain scenarios to come to life that previously hadn't. So it's really fantastic to see. So the investments, I'm not going to drill down on this too deeply, but the market is starting to recognize that the investments are starting to prove out successfully as well. We see it. We think you see it because of the feedback that we receive from you, and it's nice to see validation as well from the industry. So this is IDC, essentially a recent the Magic Quadrants recently calling out some of the leadership that they're seeing from Microsoft within the manufacturing and energy space. So what does this mean? From our viewpoint, it's really a simple way of us looking at the IoT world. It is edge to cloud. We are an enablement platform company. We've been partner-led since inception. We'll continue to be partner-led. And it's all about how do we move faster? So those conversations we want to have with you. The pace of innovation, and I know John had mentioned this and some others, is amazing. If you think about it, 10 years ago, when cloud was first born, it offered unlimited compute power. Quickly, that moved into basic data capture, as we all know, which we're calling IoT today, and now we're seeing AI at the edge. So you're seeing this massive pace of innovation, and then that's driving all this net new opportunity. Keep it simple. I'm with you. That's part of the reason why I shared the example with my personal experience going through the shopping earlier. But simple, complex. We have the partner system. We have the partnership together with Ingram. We're ready to enable in any aspect of this. And we have the tool sets to do it today together. The other interesting takeaway that we've learned here, and we're calling this the digital feedback loop, is initially with IoT, and this is just all of us learning through the journey and evolving over time, is data capture, insight, action. And for sure that still exists today. As we're seeing additional deployments across 2 stores, 10 stores, 100 stores, just as an Uber example, you're seeing more in-depth insights. So these collective insights are driving collective action and broader ROI that really we didn't see in the front end, call it 2 years ago. And if we have to look at IoT from where we started 2 years ago specific, out of that pace of innovation chain, and I think it was John that hit on this earlier, a big chunk of this was POCs in science projects. So you can see the value chain. We all play a role in the value chain. We were looking at 15, in some cases 50 members of this value chain coming together to form a solution. Fantastic. Very lengthy to come to deploy, end up being deployed once and not maybe repeated, and it wasn't necessarily brought to a broader deployment. So we've all evolved to that point, and really that drove us into a new concept, and you've heard this term today. So getting out of POC, getting out of science project, getting out of longer deployment phases in single deployments into the solution aggregator model. It's a concept that many within the ecosystem are using today. And really, what it's doing is saying there's, whether you're ideation, build with, go to market, or sell with, no matter what phase of that capability spectrum you might sit on or need, you have a partner that can help you along that journey. The other is, how do we accelerate a development of a solution or an opportunity faster? And then, great, once we land that, how do we repeat it? So taking a repeatable solution and driving a repeated motion is really the opportunity we have today. And Ingram Micro is your partner. So this is kind of the best slide that I think encompasses what the solution aggregator model means today. So again, no matter where you sit, if you're on the left side, you could be a sensor provider, you could be a connectivity partner, you might have a fully baked end-to-end solution. So in theory, you could have your fully edge-to-cloud repeatable solution and drive that through Ingram to drive scale. You might be working with Ingram to help develop a solution from ground up. So whether it's in-house capabilities that Ingram is leveraging, or they're leveraging the differentiated value prop assets that you bring to the table, that could be another avenue. Or it's pieces of the pie. So sensor, gateway, connectivity, et cetera, bundling it together into a repeatable solution, and then again, driving into scale. So you can see the end-to-end capabilities is very unique to Ingram Micro from a global footprint perspective, from capability. They've invested, I'm speaking on their behalf, but they've invested very, very deeply here. And we're investing, again, in, with, and through them in the past 2 years from a global level. So some of you have been part of that, and we're really excited to continue this and continue that scale motion. You can see the target verticals up there. These are actually Microsoft proactive verticals, I would say. And I use that because these are the ones that we focus on. Maybe more investment goes there than others, but we certainly are playing in addressing opportunities in many verticals that you might not specifically see called out here. So how does Ingram Micro make this easy for you? So if you look on their IoT marketplace, whether you need a full edge-to-cloud, complete, repeatable solution needs to be deployed, they have that today. Perhaps you're an SI and can pull together components, and you need some of the pieces to the pie, the ingredients. They have that option as well today. And then the other is from a kit or solution accelerator standpoint. I mean, think of it as a reference design. So it's 60% there, it's 80% there. They have solutions that across industries and verticals today that you can utilize, and then we just add on that last 10%, 20% customization layer to help meet your end customers' needs. So no matter what you need, capability-wise, solution-wise, it is available. This slide I get really excited about. And one thing that we've seen within the past 2 years is when you look at verticals, and I'll just use myself as an example. previously you look at verticals and outcomes that a vertical was looking to solve for, and we were looking for one solution. So one solution to fit that. Great, we have this bright, shiny light. We deploy it. Everybody's happy. Okay, great. Now move on to the next one. But quickly over time, we're starting to understand through our customers and through you is that it's great to have one solution within a vertical, but it's even better to have a solution set. So when you have a smart campus, when you have an agriculture environment saying, hey, look, I want to be connected, you can, in theory, go in and drop a connected environment within their structure. Or they could pick a la carte. So this is critical, and this is something that these are Ingram Micro's solution sets. But this is, and we're continuing to work with them to help build upon that. But very key for when you have customer engagements that you know that it's in some cases a la carte, single solution, but more importantly, you have a solution set. One solution, keep it simple, typically leads to extensibility into net new solutions and other use case scenario outcomes that the end customer is looking to solve for. So this makes it real. So this is essentially just taking those verticals and solution sets and mapping a solution partner onto them. So this isn't just lip speak. This is real. This is happening today. So in the spirit of keeping it real, I really would like to click down and give an overview of Buddy. Buddy is a solution provider that works with Ingram Micro today globally. You can see them on the IoT marketplace. They're built on the Azure IoT platform. And the opportunity that they saw was within the energy space. So whether it's a building or other, the increased usage of energy is growing, and that's just the reality of it. And you can see some of the numbers here. Carbon footprint, more compliance guidelines with how much water is used and waste, and there's just a massive opportunity that we're all part of and living in the world today. So they understood that opportunity, and they developed a set of solutions and value prop to help meet some of those needs. So from sensor gateway that they have, the simplification there, not being invasive. I mean, you can see some of the use case scenarios that they target within a building, as an example. And the output of that, if you're an operator, is very digestible. It's very consumable. So you can see that over here on the left. It's easy to read, easy to understand trends, develop rules, if this, then that, etc. And if you are an end customer, these are just some examples as to the benefits, the ROI that's being driven. So from an upgrade perspective, from a conservation perspective, the ROI list goes on. So you can see with every scenario, in this case, Buddy, opportunity, value prop, what you bring to the table from your differentiated services, the output of that from a dashboard, it's really very simple perspective, and then the ROI that you're providing back into your end customers. So I will leave you with this. First of all, this is fun. This IoT journey, I know John's probably been within the world a little longer than some of us, but within a 2-year span, it is moving at an incredible speed. The amount of investment going into this initiative is phenomenal. The capability sets that Ingram brings to the table are phenomenal. Some of the use case scenarios that we see is mind-boggling at times. I know there was a comment earlier about developing that. I forget what it was called now, but the colossal mistake, that building for developing food for Mars. But we're seeing that with NASA today. We're working with them. I mean, you name it, as simple or as complex, there's an outcome, there's a pain point, there's a use case scenario that needs to be solved for. So I would really welcome you to listen to your customers. So many of you are probably very deep within IoT today. If we can help you get deeper, fantastic. Let's help you innovate further. Please reach out to your local Ingram Micro contact. Please reach out to myself or other Microsoft people here. But we're all about understanding how we can help you and how to help you move faster. From a scale perspective, we offer resources to help Ingram Micro and you scale globally. We also have resources to turn on our sellers through the partnership with the Ingram Micro to drive awareness into what you're offering to unlock potentially new channels to drive scale. So the breakout sessions that we're having later today, they will expose net new real solutions as well, so I do welcome you to check those out. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. And again, let's keep this fun. Let's figure out how to help each other. And I thank you for your time.